Are you ready? You ready, Mavy? You ready? You ready? You ready?
Great job, boys. Have a wonderful race.
Come on. All right, let's get it. We're going. We're going. You ready? Let's go. Come on. Come on. Good morning, everybody. It is officially day 74 of Heart and Hound Run to Save, where me and my two dogs, we're just running every day to bring awareness to sudden cardiac arrest and people under the age of 25. It's race day. It is race day. We've got the Heart Mini Marathon today, half marathon. Gonna be running it with my boys. It's a special day. Not only do we get to do that, but we get to do it on the 4-year anniversary of my open heart surgery. Today is the 4-year anniversary of the day that changed my life. The day that changed the trajectory of where my life split. It changed everything for me. And I couldn't be more excited to do something like this today. Go suffer a little bit, go do something a little hard, push myself to new limits, to new heights, and all doing it in the name of heart health and doing it with my boys. So super excited. Come run this half marathon with me. It is 4:45 a.m. Time to get dressed, get our coffee, get our pre-run nutrition in, and yeah, get hydrated, get carved up, and get to the race. Let's go. In gingy socks. Going with the toe socks today. Been testing them out lately and I'm a big fan. Been dealing with some blisters around my toes, specifically my big toe, my middle toe, so went with trying out the Ingingis for the last couple runs. Really have enjoyed using them, so that's what we're wearing today. Alright, this is my go-to coffee nowadays. Already got my little milk mixture mixed up here to some skim milk. Just a little vanilla syrup, a little honey, cinnamon, and just a touch of sweetener. Then I go in. I also use some maca powder for some extra nutrients, aid in nutrition, aid in endurance, all that fun stuff. But the game changer for me has been right here. This right here. The mushroom coffee. Absolute game changer, I'm telling you right now. If you haven't tried it, you need to try it, because not only is it very tasty and very good, I truly believe it has upped my performance. It's been definitely an aid in my performance. It's increased my aerobic capacity, my ability to push paces at lower heart rates. I feel all around on a daily, day-to-day basis just lighter, fresher, and it's become a staple over the last couple months. So try out RYZE Mushroom Coffee. If you get the package, they'll send you their mushroom creamer as well. And if you're looking to try it out, I'll put a discount code down in the description. Try it out. You can get 15% off. It's become my morning staple. Forgot to grab my Pro Mix D-Bloat. It's a daily staple as well. I drink it before I have my coffee. Clear out my system. Get the system up and running. So I like mine iced. You can have it hot too. I mean, you can either have it iced or hot. It's got instant coffee in it, so either way it's gonna mix in. Then I like to go ahead and top it off with a little actual coffee, just to give it a little bit more of the coffee flavor. I love my coffee, so it's I don't add that much, but add a little coffee to the top and we're ready to go. Mushroom coffee is ready. D-Bloat is going down. This morning is gonna be great. It's starting off great. Good morning, Maverick. Hi, sweet boy. What are you doing? You getting all napped up, ready for the race? Oh my goodness. Look at that sweet little face. Hi, boy. Hi, pretty boy. Look at you. You're all sprawled out. This is my bed. Say nope. This is my bed. Boop.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning, and this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? Let's go! Hey! Yeah, this is my life, my strife, my right to fight, to die on. And this is my game to play, to claim a brand new name, and I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm a bit nervous that I might screw everything up that I've ever done. But what's the point of living if you ain't having fun? I guess I'll try this, try that, might miss, gotta find what I'm good at. I guess I look here, look there, over where am I scared, where am I at? I gotta make it in this life, whatever makes me happy, know I'm doing things right. Sipping in the summer on a goose and Sprite, or find a nightclub for the end of the night, And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be?
Go boys. What do you think, buddy? Hi, boys. Hi, Maverick. You ready? Look at you. You're all set up, huh? Good boys. Good boys. 3 miles in. Boys are absolutely crushing it. They've been a hit. Matt, come on. Six miles in. We made it up Torrance Hill. Boys are crushing it. Aren't you boys? Go boys. Crushing it. Absolute hit. Everybody loves them. We're just putting smiles on faces. That's why we're doing it.
Somebody. The mini team really wants to dance with you. Look at them out there. Look at these girls go. Oh, mini team, you have one of your cute.
You got it all over your lips, dude. Yes. That was gonna drip.
Yeah, Maverick has all of those now.
So does Moose. He has it up his nose.
We didn't need to document.
What's going on, everybody? Kyle back here with another weekly recap video. This week was a big one because we just wrapped up, actually just got home, kind of got cleaned up from the Heart Mini Marathon. That was today where we ran the half marathon. So I just want to kind of talk about, this week of training, this week of doing a mini taper, as well as a small, carb loading to kind of practice that situation. I took this race today, this half marathon, as really a guided training session when it comes to my nutrition, my hydration, doing a taper, carb loading, prepping, as well as in-run nutrition and hydration, and then recovery nutrition and hydration, as well as controlling pace, controlling heart rate, controlling effort within a race situation, a race environment. Today I wasn't sure how I was going to come into this race today. Today, March 15th, is the 4-year anniversary of my open heart surgery. So it made today very special to be able to go out and race, specifically in a race built all around heart health and promoting heart health and bringing awareness to, all the heart conditions out there and the heart survivors that are out there, including myself. So it was it brings up a lot of emotions, a lot of thoughts, a lot of memories, good and bad. So I really wasn't sure how today, me emotionally and mentally, I was going to be. So I kind of took it by ear. I was excited. I was nervous. I was anxious. I was thinking of all the hard times I've been through, thinking about all the good stuff that has been happening lately, and trying to just stay focused and put my blinders on and stick to the plan that I had set in place for myself for this race. So we started out this week with, we lowered the mileage. I think I ended this week at about 48 miles, but we'll go over the miles here in a minute, the amount of mileage for the week. But like I said, I took this week as basically a test to see where my fitness was, where my aerobic capacity was, how I have been doing specifically with my nutrition, as well as building, a good strategy and plan set in place for future races that I'm doing this year. We have a 50K here in about 4 weeks. Then we go straight into the Flying Pig full marathon. Then we have a little summer window, which I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do over the summer. If I'll get in a couple races, maybe do a couple trail races. Haven't decided fully yet, but we'll figure that out as we go. But right now on the calendar is a 50K and the full marathon at the Flying Pig. So this was a test really specifically for the Flying Pig because it's, again, in Cincinnati. So the courses and the terrain is going to be very similar. So I wanted to kind of test my fitness level as of right now, as I am in the 2026 season. Like I said, have said previously in previous videos, my 2026 is not set around races in particular. I picked the races strategically because two of them are in my hometown. One, the Chicago Marathon, gave me the opportunity to run with the American Heart Association, and then the 50K came up through family, friends, and that found out what I was doing, found out the mission I had for 2026, that I had a mission to run 2,000 miles and why I was doing it, and they offered up a spot in their kind of backyard ultra, if you will, of a 50K. So that kind of came up after I signed up for these other races, but I'm excited for that one because that'll be a test for the ultra style framework, which I'm going to get into at the end of the year when I do this big effort, multi-day running effort at the end of the year that I haven't had fully booked. I don't have fully planned out yet, so I'm not sharing all the details about it, but yeah, that is coming. It's going to be a lot of miles and very hitting home to me. So very excited about that, but I'll share more on that later. When it comes to today, or this week, I started on Monday with 6.4 miles. We did a couple trails. We did a couple miles on the trails, so really keeping it super light, super easy, trying to keep heart rate steady and low, keeping pace lower. Then we went into Tuesday, where we did our Tuesday workout. Trying to pull it up here on Strava. We did our Tuesday workout. Tuesdays are my normal, speed workout day. So my Tuesday workout was a 2-mile warm-up. We did 4 by 20-second strides to get the legs turning over. And then we did 7 rounds of 3 minutes apiece with 2 minutes of rest. Each 3-minute segment was at a 7:45 to 8:05 minute per mile pace, and then we did a 2-mile cool down. So that one ended up being a total of 8.5 miles. Then on Wednesday, we did 6 miles, nice and easy, keeping heart rate again low, keeping pace within range of an easy pace, and then just keeping the stride, keeping it open as we tapered down into Sunday. And then Thursday, we did another 6 miles, again, keeping it nice and simple and easy, getting leg turnover, not pushing paces, not pushing heart rate, just trying to keep heart rate low and just keep the legs churning and keep lactic acid buildup flushed from the system. Then on Friday, we did 5.2 miles. Again, super easy, super light. All these runs, we were sitting heart rate wise around 140 beats per minute on average. Our pace was ranging anywhere from about 9:15 to 9:30 minute per mile pace. And then Saturday, Friday evening, I actually took the dogs out for a little walk, about 2.5 miles. And then Friday, we got up. We did a 3-mile, basically a 5K shakeout run in the morning. Again, super light, 9:50 minute per mile pace on average, heart rate low, just to basically keep the legs moving. Don't let them get too stiff on Saturday for Sunday. And then today, we came in today feeling really good. Again, like I said, I was practicing a mini taper when it came to lowering mileage, but I was also very much in tune with doing a small carb loading session. So what that means is Monday, Tuesday, and most of Wednesday was pretty normal. Basically all of Wednesday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday was normal. I ate my normal kind of go-to meals. In the morning, I was doing a bagel with some avocado and some jam, and then RYZE Mushroom Coffee, which is my staple in the morning. Then for lunch, I was having chicken, rice, beans, corn, some peppers, and just some honey mustard and sweet hot mustard. I try to keep my sauces on the low calorie end, mainly sticking to mustards, zero sugar sauces, stuff like that. So both of those mustards have like 10 calories per serving. So I don't want my calories and my carbs and everything coming from sauces. I want it coming from the real food in my meal. So we were averaging about 180 to 200 grams of carbs or 200 grams of rice in those lunch meals, with about 40 to 50 grams of beans, and then some mushrooms, corn, peppers. Those meals were about 450. Oh, and I put a half of an avocado in those as well. So those meals were actually ranging anywhere from 450 to 600 calories, depending on if I did the avocado, how much rice and beans and all that other stuff I was doing. So those were they were ranging in the 500 to 525 range, with about 50 to 60 grams of carbs. Then my dinner was very similar. It was the same rice, corn, beans, mushrooms, peppers, and then instead of chicken, I would do 93.7 ground beef. Then I didn't do an avocado at night. I only did that in the morning and at lunch. So that meal was about sitting 450 to 500, depending on, again, how much of the extra stuff I did. I would maybe add a little salsa, maybe a little cottage cheese to give a little boost of protein and some flavor. And then in the evenings, that was kind of my carb loading meal. It was cereal, something very simple. It's easy carbs to digest, easy to fill up your glycogen stores, your liver glycogen, all of that. So I would eat I have multiple boxes that I got on sale the other day. But I would rotate between Honey Nut Cheerios, Golden Grams, Cocoa Puffs, and Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So I think I had actually all those this week. But once we got to Thursday was when we started upping carbohydrate intake and lowering fiber. So I started taking the extras out of my meals, like the beans, the corn, I didn't take the avocado out yet. That's the only one I left in. The mushrooms, all of that adds fiber to the meal, I was starting to take out. Because when you're getting towards a race, you don't want that fiber in there to slow digestion. You actually want rapid stomach emptying, which means it's going in and it's being dispersed out as quickly as possible, basically to be able to store glycogen in your muscles, in your liver, as well as provide quick and steady energy in your workouts and throughout the day. Because I was also doing strength training sessions throughout the week, kind of full body circuits between, doing very light 45-ish minutes with some core and some sauna. So Thursday we started upping that. We went from normally about 150 to 180 grams of rice to 200 grams of rice, took out the beans, corn, all that extra stuff that adds fiber, keeping in the avocado in the morning with my bagel, and then keeping the avocado in at lunch, but just upping the rice mainly. And then I upped the cereal a little bit. Once it got to Thursday, I started strictly eating Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and I would eat it with a glass of milk. So about 8 to 10 ounces of milk. I'd actually mix a little cinnamon in there and a little sweetener to spice it up a little bit. But Thursday, I started strictly Cinnamon Toast Crunch. One, because it has a lower fiber content, slightly higher sugar, which is good for quick and easy digesting carbohydrates to fill those glycogen stores. And then that's really it. I would mix a little honey in it maybe. But that was kind of my daily on Thursday. Then on Friday, we upped. Friday was my biggest day. So what I'm learning is you don't want your biggest carb up day to be the day before the race. You want it about 48 hours out. So Friday was our 48-hour out window. So our biggest carb day was Friday. So instead of 200 grams of rice, I took rice in each meal to 250 grams. So I had 250 grams of rice at lunch, 250 grams of rice at dinner. I took out all the avocado. So for breakfast, I had a bagel. I had my RYZE Mushroom Coffee, and then on the bagel, I put grape jam and a banana. I did a whole banana. So I was doing bagel, whole banana, grape jam, grape jelly, and my RYZE Mushroom Coffee, which I was actually putting about 4 to 6 ounces of skim milk in. So that gave a little protein and a little carbohydrate into that meal as well. So my morning was actually right around, for Friday, about 90 to 100 grams of carbs alone. About 15 to 20 grams of protein and very low fat. Actually, really no fat whatsoever. For lunch, like I said, I had chicken and 250 grams of rice. That's it. My little honey mustard and sweet hot mustard, and that's it. I had another banana in between breakfast and lunch, and then after lunch, when I got out of school, or actually before my run on Friday, I had my carb mix endurance drink that I make at home with cane sugar, lime juice, lemon juice, salt, and water flavoring. So that day I did 20 grams of cane sugar, which gives you 20 grams of carbs. That's a 1-to-1 trade-off calculation. And what makes cane sugar a good carbohydrate source for endurance carb mixes, most of the carb mixes you see out there have a split between glucose and fructose, because your body can digest both of them separately and independently. So you can actually take in more carbs at once if you have them split, rather than if you're just taking glucose or just taking fructose. So most of the carb mixes you're going to see out there may have a 1-to-1 split, a 1-to-0.5 split, a 2-to-1 split. It just depends on the brand, on what that carb mix was meant to do, or the gels. The gels are split the same way. So I make my own at home because cane sugar is a 1-to-1 split. It's a 1-to-1 for glucose and fructose. So basically, if you put 20 grams of cane sugar in, you're getting 20 grams of carbs, 25 grams of carbs. Whatever gram amountage of cane sugar you put in, that's how many carbs you get. And then I was doing lime and lemon juice to give that acidity to the drink. And then I would put just one of those easy zero sugar water flavoring packs into, like, where you squirt out of that little bottle into there, with about 1/8 to 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Really, I was doing about 1 gram of salt, which gives you about 300 to 350 milligrams of sodium. In those, I was also adding guarana powder, or guarana extract powder, which is basically caffeine. It's a caffeine powder. 1 scoop of that was 220 milligrams of caffeine. Since I take it after school or in the later in the day normally, before my runs, I only do about half a scoop, so about 110 milligrams of caffeine. Just give me that boost on top of the carbs and allow my brain to focus in and dial in for the workouts after school or in the afternoon. So I have that between, normally, like I said, if it's a school day, it's 3:30ish on my drive home. I drink that. Then I get home and work out and do my runs and my strength training. But Friday, I didn't have school. We had a PD day, so I actually had that a little earlier, closer to my lunch. But it really doesn't matter. Just the main carbohydrate intake for that day was what mattered. And then, like I said, for dinner, 250 grams of rice, about 3 ounces of ground beef. Then at dinner, or at later at night, I like to have a little sweet treat, if you will. So I had about 60 grams of Cinnamon Toast Crunch with my milk, with its cinnamon and sweetener in it, to give me roughly 330 to 350 grams of carbs on Friday. In the fitness space, I've been exercising and working out and strength training and running for a long time, and it's always, you hear protein, protein, protein. You gotta have your protein, you gotta have your protein. You wanna stay lean, you gotta eat your protein. What I'm actually learning through this, and yes, that is true if you're just going about your daily life and just strength training. With strength training, if that's what you're doing, that's way better than 90% of the people out there. But for me and what my situation and what I want to do and what I want to accomplish, that's actually not the best method for me. What I'm learning is this medium level of fat, like on my normal days with my avocado, I'm getting about 45 to 50 grams of fat. Now I am about 5'6", 100. I range between 125 to 130 pounds, depending. And then, so I'm getting about 80 to 90 grams of protein. And then on regular days, I'm getting about 250 to 280 grams of carbs. On Friday, on that carb up day, I got to about 330 to 350 grams. Then we went to Saturday. Saturday, we did a very minimal shakeout run, like I said earlier. So I knew we weren't running a lot that day. I did do a small strength training session, strictly upper body, nothing lower body. I didn't want to do anything to fatigue the legs whatsoever. So we did a little upper body strength training, and then I focused strictly on nutrition and hydration. We backed off the carbs a little bit to about 290 grams that day on Saturday, 290 to 300. And again, it looked very similar. We had our bagel with our banana and jelly, and our RYZE Mushroom Coffee with our skim milk. And then about 10 o'clock, I had another banana. And then for lunch, we had 200 grams of rice, about 3 ounces of chicken. And then again for dinner, I didn't have my carb mix drink on Saturday because I didn't really need it, because I woke up and ran in the morning after my bagel and breakfast. And then in the evening, we had our about 3 ounces of ground beef, 200 grams of rice. And then on Saturday, I was a little lower. I didn't really have any fat in my diet. I had about 20 to 30 grams of fat in my diet. So my calorie, yes, my carbs were high, but my calorie intake was still relatively lower. So I had, again, my cereal mix, but I upped it to 80 grams of Cinnamon Toast Crunch with my milk and my cinnamon and sweetener in that as well. So I woke up today feeling absolutely fantastic. And as somebody who's dealt with gut issues, waking up with pains in my stomach in the morning and waking up not having an appetite, waking up feeling just blah and groggy and fatigued and tired and just not feeling right, all stemming from my gut. It's actually a godsend when you find a method that works and that makes you feel good. And that's what this week felt like. I woke up every morning feeling light, feeling fresh, feeling airy, feeling like having an appetite to be able to go out and sit and eat a breakfast, a relatively large breakfast than I've had in multiple years prior to this. So it's a change in mindset that's been really hard for me, is like, you need to up your carbs, lower your protein, lower your fat a little bit, because I was, again, in the fitness space of protein comes first, and it has to. Where now, carbs are my main source of energy, main source of performance, everything, keeping my body healthy and stable and durable. And it's just I've had to switch this thing off in my mind and turn this other switch on to like just turn that over. But since I've been feeling fantastic. Now I have made some other changes, like the RYZE Mushroom Coffee, which I could talk about a lot, but I'm still kind of in that testing phase. But I've seen tremendous outcomes from taking RYZE Mushroom Coffee. It has a 6 mushroom blend of mushrooms in it, about 2,500 milligrams of mushrooms. Tastes like coffee. It's mixed with instant coffee. Doesn't give you that super bitter coffee taste, but you definitely get that hint of coffee. But it does taste a little different than your straight black coffee. I, again, mix it with milk and a little sweetener, but I believe it has helped in my gut stuff as well as my aerobic performance. I've only been drinking it for about a month and a half to 2 months, but since I've seen profound outcomes, positive outcomes from drinking it. So if you're interested, I have a link down below to try it out. I suggest you just try it. You can get 15% off of my code. They're always doing a deal. I think right now you get 2 bags and a frother and some magnets and stickers and other stuff for like $45. Gives you about 60 servings. I mean, that's a couple good bags of coffee. A couple good bags of coffee cost you $20 a bag, 15 to $20 a bag. So it's about your standard coffee. So why not try it out? I highly recommend it. As well as, you know, I've always been like, oh, cereal is terrible for you. Cereal, no, is a no-no. It's got all the additives and blah, blah, blah. But for right now, it works. It works for me. Yes, I'm still taking in some additives and preservatives and crap that probably isn't best for my body, but it's allowing me to perform, and it's allowing me to feel fresh and ready to go every morning. So it is what it is. If that's what it takes, I'm willing to take that trade-off, because the rest of my diet is super clean, super like natural, organic foods, whole foods. That's really the only one, other than the bagel in the morning, whatever you want to say about bagels. But that's really the only thing that in my diet that's off the beaten path for me. Who always and has been very attuned to eating whole foods. So we came in today, this morning, I woke up, felt amazing. We went to bed at about 8:30, 9 o'clock last night, got up at 4:30 this morning, and like I said, I felt really good. I felt fresh, I felt light, weighed in, wasn't holding any water, which was a problem last week, like I mentioned in my video last week, so go check that one out. I screwed up my diet on Friday before my long run on Saturday, and I felt like garbage. Today, I felt amazing. I was ready to go. The legs felt light. Yes, that helps because we were tapering down. So last week I did 62 to 65 miles. This week I'm only doing about 48. I only did about 30-ish, 35 up till today. So yes, the legs were definitely lighter and fresher because mileage went down, but also because we were getting our sleep, we were getting our nutrition, and hitting the numbers we wanted to hit. And then, like I said, we came in today feeling great, went out and performed basically exactly on schedule and on plan of how I planned. Now, I don't have a coach. I use ChatGPT and AI to basically help me create my training plan, my training regimen, my diet, my nutrition, everything by basically just using it, prompting it, giving it my paces, my times, putting in my workouts daily so it knows how I'm performing on a day-to-day basis, and it works. It does. So if you're somebody out there, you don't want to pay a coach, you don't want to pay $50, $100, $200 a month for a coach, you don't want to pay for doing a run club, or for me, I don't do a run club because I run my dogs every day, so I find it more enjoyable to do that than be in a run club and have a specific group of pacing. That's just me. But AI and ChatGPT has been fantastic for me. Like I said, I upload my workouts every day of how I performed for those, and it breaks them down, gives me suggestions, gives me workouts. It changes the workouts. Like it could be I didn't perform well on a Monday, so it changes the workout on Tuesday. It helps me create my strength training to help in maintaining and building durability in my whole body. And it's been a great tool to be able to use over the last 74 days of Heart and Hound Run to Save and running every single day. I wouldn't be able to do that without using that tool to my advantage. But yeah, today we came in, we started the race about 7:30 in the morning. It's a big group, and when you start the Heart Mini, it's at a very narrow section of road. So it takes a minute to find your place. Obviously, I had the two dogs with me, so it took me even more time to kind of find our place in the pack and find open spaces and jump in and out of people. So the first mile we did it like 10-15 minute per mile pace. The heart rate was still slightly elevated because of the nerves and the anxiousness and the anxiety, like just the nerves of the day of the race, as well as packing on the emotion of my 4-year anniversary. So yeah, it was as good of a start as we could get. Jumping in between people, trying to keep the dogs steady and in and out without running into people or getting in people's way. I was trying to be very conscious of that since I had them with me. And then we kind of got into our groove about mile 2, and we were keeping about a 9 to 9:15 minute per mile pace for that mile 2, mile 3. Heart rate was sitting around 155. It's a very rolling hill course, very hilly course. So we just started cruising, and we got to about mile 6, and that's when you go up this massive climb, which is known very well. If you look up the Heart Mini Marathon in Cincinnati, that's what everybody talks about. It's called Torrance Hill. And last year, Torrance Hill absolutely destroyed me. It crushed me. I got up the hill, and I came back down, and my heart rate was so elevated. I also didn't have the fitness level, I don't think, as I did this year. But my heart rate was so elevated that I couldn't bring it back down. It wasn't recovering, and it hovered in the 160 to 170s the rest of the race for the next 6-7 miles, which was not good. I felt terrible last year. I was hacking up a lung. I was puking after the race. I felt like garbage for 2 or 3 days. Like it was a really bad race last year. So this year I was very focused on strategically planning how I was going to attack that hill and how I was going to attack the back half of the race, because there was more elevation gain on the back half than the first half. So again, using AI and ChatGPT, we kind of came up with a plan, run the race besides Torrance, trying to negative split, trying to keep cadence, keep a steady stride, keep the legs turning over, keep heart rate relatively in a constricted frame, and then keeping pace at a certain level each mile. But then when it came to Torrance, the plan was take Torrance as you don't want to walk it, but you got to turn your feet over, you got to turn your legs over, smaller stride, shorter stride, more steps, increase cadence, lower your basically effort, trying to keep heart rate not from spiking and just being destroyed, and attack the hill. And that's what we did. The dogs didn't pull me at all up the hill. I didn't let them. And we got to the top of the hill. I've ran this race. This is now my 3rd time running it. It was the best time I've ran that hill. And we got around the top, and then we took the downhill. Some people will sprint down that downhill because it's a downhill and you can gain time and speed. But we took it nice and easy, keeping the pace 840 to 850, letting heart rate, which was a great sign at that point in the race. We're about halfway in, and my heart rate going up the hill got to about 170 to 175. But when we started coming down the hill, my heart rate started recovering, which is a great sign of aerobic capacity and my fitness level at the time, right now. And so we started coming down the hill. Actually, my heart rate got all the way back down to 145, which was a great sign. That gave me so much confidence for that back half of the race. It gave me more confidence than I've gotten in any other race that I've ran. So we got to the end of the hill, and we started picking up pace, picking up cadence, picking up stride. And for the next 2 miles was a slight uphill grade, rolling hills. And we got to about mile 9, and I was feeling really good. Mile 9 or 10 is where you cross 2 bridges back to back. So obviously bridges are built to have a hump in the middle. So we attacked that uphill and attacked the bridges, and I felt great. Heart rate was getting slightly elevated in the 160s, but that was fully expected because I was expecting to increase my pace, trying to negative split the whole race, as well as specifically those last 6-7 miles. So we got to about mile 11, and we hit another bridge. Couldn't think of the word there. We hit another bridge, attacked that one, got to the bottom of that bridge, and took off. Again, I was feeling, my legs were still feeling bouncy, feeling fresh. So we took off, and we finished that last about 5K, give or take, a little less than a 5K, probably the last 2 miles at a 740 or 750 and a 740 minute per mile pace. Fastest paces I've ever ran, specifically at the end of a half marathon. So super happy with how today went. And then obviously everything after the race was awesome. Everybody loved the dogs. They were there. I had these little race bibs to put on their harnesses. You'll see pictures of those. You'll see videos. Everybody loved those. I had their Heart and Hound patches, which is our brand mission. And then I had my Heart and Hound shirt on with our picture on the back. And people loved it. There was nobody in the race that got mad that they were there, that got frustrated or got whatsoever angry because the dogs were running. Everybody we ran past, it put a smile on somebody's face. It made somebody laugh. They were wearing their little wag willies, shoes to protect their paws, because when it comes to races, you don't know exactly what's going to be on the ground. So I didn't want to cut paws or nothing. So we had their little boots on. People loved it. I mean, they brought so much joy and entertainment and smiles and excitement to the race that it was a blast. So after the race, we kind of took it nice and easy, ate a banana. Then I was invited to the Survivors Breakfast, VIP breakfast. So I went up there, got some fruit, got a little Greek yogurt, and got a sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffin, some more water, got some more water in me, and we had that. Then we kind of waited around, sat in the car for a little bit. I talked to some of the people that I know from the American Heart Association. They were asking me stuff. And then we came back up to the race after we sat in the car after all that, because there was a 5K walk that my family was walking in. So I was going to walk that with them. Ended up getting interviewed. So it was an awesome day. Getting to talk about not only my survivorship and my journey, but being able to show why I'm out there, why I'm running, why I've started this mission of Heart and Hound, why I'm running every day, why I run with my dogs, why so many people asked what Heart and Hound was and what it meant and it was just such a great atmosphere, such a wonderful, beautiful, blessed day, and I couldn't be more happy with how today went. It got our image out there, it got our brand out there, it got some recognition, and that's all I'm doing it for. I want to get as many eyes on this mission as possible, not for me personally, but to bring awareness to the mission, to what the mission is about. Bringing awareness to sudden cardiac arrest in people under the age of 25. Bringing awareness to not only the amount of young lives are lost, but the tragedy it is for the families, for the people, the friends, the classmates, the teammates, everybody around that young person who we lose every year, almost every day, is vital to our community. It's taking away futures, and also to bring awareness to the preventative measures that we already have in place to be able to prevent these deaths from ever happening. The EKG, the echocardiogram, preventative and proactive screenings and testings and physical exams. I say my story starts and ends with my physical, with my doctor being proactive and my cardiologist being proactive, my surgeon being proactive, and getting me through that process. Without proactive healthcare, I wouldn't be here today, and I believe that wholeheartedly. So it was a great day to be able to put to light and shed light on what we're doing and why we're doing it. And it was awesome. So that's this week's recap, week 10, I think, week 10. Today was day 74 of Heart and Hound, so we've been running 74 days in a row. We did 48 miles this week, about 48 and a half. Next week, I think we've got 60 plus miles coming up. We'll take tomorrow nice and easy, coming off race day, and then get back into our normal routine. Definitely, again, focusing on nutrition, hydration, recovery. All that plays probably more of a vital role in performance than anything else. And so we're going to keep working on that. and preparing. We've got this 50K in 4 weeks. Prepare for the 50K, prepare for the full marathon, and then we'll be at summer, and it'll be summertime, no school. Super excited. Got big plans for this summer. So yeah, that's Heart and Hound Run to Save, day 75, week 10, Heart Mini Marathon Edition. Stay healthy, and remember, prevention is the standard, not the exception.